Welcome to Cleve, Loveland, and the Lone Ranger radio show. My name is Bruce Woodburn, and I'm the Lone Ranger. Cleve, Loveland is out and about showing properties. But I'm going to tell you something. That guy is selling properties so doggone fast, and he's getting full price on many of his offers, and sometimes even more. If you want to talk to a great real estate agent, somebody that knows the market inside and out, give Cleve and his team a chance. I'm going to tell you something, you won't be disappointed. You get a local person in the business, 25, 20, 30 years in the business. I think he's got the longest running radio show right here. But if you have any questions for Cleve, call him. He'd love to help you with any of your real estate needs, and he's got amazing buyer's agents that will assist him as well. 407-352-8118. If you have any questions for Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage, the Lone Ranger, that would be me. You can call me directly on my line here at 407-250-9144. Why would you want to call the Lone Ranger? Well, I'll give you a couple of reasons why you'd want to call the Lone Ranger. First of all, I am dedicated to customer service and great rates. So if you're looking for a mortgage company, what more do you want? Do you want to deal with a national company? Then you've got me. I'm a national company. Do you want to deal with a local business person? You got me right here as a local business person. Do you want somebody that's got experience? I have 32 and a half years. It'll be 33 years on March the 18th in this industry. All I do is mortgages. I don't know how to do much of anything else. But by gosh, I can do mortgages, and I get loans approved that other lenders can't touch. I also offer a great level of service. So oftentimes I'm getting calls from you guys saying, I went to the Rocket, or I went to my bank, or I went to my credit union. And you know what? I don't understand why they're telling me I got a certain rate, and then they redisclose it at a different rate, and redisclose it at a different rate, and redisclose it at a different rate. And then when it comes right down to it, I don't even know what I have. Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you ever put yourself through that? Come right to the source. You can get a hold of Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage, the Lone Ranger, and guess what you get? You get great customer service, and you get me. Now, I don't say you get me to be bragging on myself. I'm saying you get me because you can't call another big mortgage company and get the guy that runs the show. You're not going to do that. It doesn't happen. I give you my cell phone number, 407-250-9144. And I know many of you get really surprised on Monday when I actually call you back. That's right. I actually call you back. Isn't that what we want? Don't we need to go back to that in this country? I mean, honestly, you guys, we're so enamored with fast, immediate service. So you go to the interweb, and then you type in all your information. Then you wonder why all your information got sold, okay? You don't need to do that. You can come to a local business person. You can, listen, you got a problem with an out-of-state mortgage company that promised you the world and then won't deliver and ghosts you at the end of the day? You don't have that with me. You can stop into my office at 2729 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park. I've been here for 21 years. Same location, 21 years. 407-250-9144. Here's the reasons I'm getting a lot of calls from you folks these days. I had no clue till I read this article last week that 81% of people that should refinance have not refinanced yet. 81%. That means only 19% of the eligible market that would benefit from a refinance have not refinanced yet. And I'm going to tell you something. Just because so-and-so, whatever mortgage company is servicing your loan, they're a servicer. They're not, it's a contradiction in terms, believe me. Servicer and servicing you are not the same thing. Believe me, they're not the same thing. Just because they're servicing your loan, it's like, well, they have all my information. No, they bought your loan in its entirety. They don't know who you are. You think they know who you are. They don't know who you are. I will get to know who you are, your personal needs and your goals, and we'll structure a loan to meet your needs. That's what we're going to do. Now, you might need to refinance. You might be one of those 81% that haven't refinanced yet. Maybe it's not even a better rate. Maybe it's eliminating private mortgage insurance. maybe it is a better rate. Maybe it's a lower payment. Maybe it would be cashing out to pay off debt. Maybe it would be cashing out for home improvements. Maybe it might be converting your 30-year to a 15. I love helping you guys go 15. And I know sometimes when I get you on the phone and we look at the numbers, you go, God, you know what? That 15-year payment's just a little higher than I wanted. That's fine. You can still pay a 30-year loan off on a 15-year term. You can do that. But you can't pay a 15-year loan off in 30 years. That would be a default of the mortgage. We don't want to do that. 407-250-9144 for the loan arranger. If you want to talk to Cleve Loveland and his team, he's got an amazing team of buyer's agents, and they would be happy to help you. I want to tell you a quick story about his buyer's agents too. So I hear when I've got a transaction, I always call the listing agent. So if you're a buyer of mine, I always call the listing agent, introduce myself, let the listing agent know that I guarantee a close time and this loan is good to go, ready to go. And I had a call. Cleve and his team were working on a buyer of mine. It was actually a repeat buyer. And the buyer asked for $10,000 in closing costs from the seller. And I get a call from the listing agent. Pretty seemed like he knew what he was doing. And he does. So he calls me up and he says, hey, I don't know if you really know what's going on in the market, but people don't get closing costs in this market. There's too many offers on the table. And I said, well, look it. I'm the lender. You can negotiate whatever you want with the buyer. He's asking for closing costs. If you don't like the closing costs, counteroffer him. That's all. Well, it comes down to it. And Cleve's agent, Nanette, gets him $7,000 in closing costs to buy this home. $7,000. Then they did the home inspection, came back and they bumped it to $8,500. So don't tell me nobody's getting closing costs in this market. You use the right agent that'll fight for you, you can get closing costs in this market. Now, is it as easy as it is in a buyer's market? Well, of course it's not. Are you going to get the seller to pay closing costs for you when there's 5 other offers on the table at full price or more than yours? Well, of course you're not. That wouldn't make any sense. But it doesn't mean it's impossible to get what you want. You just have to have the right representation. And that's what you get when you deal with Bruce Woodburn at CrossCountry Mortgage, the loan arranger, 407-250-9144. So am I here to help you with your refi? 100%. Want to save you money. But here's the deal. I'm super passionate about helping buyers get the best mortgage when they're negotiating a purchase transaction. That's where my strengths are, helping you become the winning offer. Do you know that if you apply for a loan with me and you supply me with all of your documents, I will fast track your loan. That is a trademarked name that we call a full underwriting approval prior to you going into contract. So an underwriter's already reviewed your file. They've already approved your file. There's no conditions remaining on your file. I will then call the selling agent, the representative of the seller. I'll guarantee them a closing date, 30 days or less, or I'll pay the seller up to $500 per day that I miss that closing. How many times do you think the loan arranger misses his closing? Doesn't happen very often, I can tell you that right now. The only time that would happen is if you lost your job midstream and something changed on the qualification. So those things just don't happen. You want a great mortgage, great terms, national lender, local service, return phone calls, unbelievable level of service. And I'm going to tell you something. You guys think, if I ask everybody out there that's listening, what's the most important thing when you get a mortgage? All of you are the first thing comes out of your mouth. Well, the best rate, maybe low closing costs, maybe lender paid close, could be any number of those things. The last thing that comes out of your mouth is, boy, I really want great service, because you think that it just comes with the program. But I'm going to tell you something. My industry after 2010 got pretty good and tight, but now there's a bunch of shenanigans going on in my industry. Like, I get clients all the time going, well, wait a minute, I got a quote from this other lender. How come they're not honoring that quote? How come they told me they gave it to me in writing and they're not honoring it? Why is that the case? They can't do that, can they? Well, of course they can, and they do it. Now, I won't do that. You're not going to get shenanigans from me. But I'm seeing this industry because the refi market was so big that all these big lenders just hire telemarketers and throw a license in front of them, and they think they can help you. They can't help you. They're giving you a disservice. Just because they're a servicer doesn't mean you get service. You want service? You call me at 407-250-9144. Then you get service, and you get good rates. It's all the same. It comes together with me. It's one big package. You want to get a great loan and buy a home right now? I can hook you up with all the right resources for buying a home. We'll get you great homeowners insurance. Do I refer you to a homeowners insurance because it benefits me? No, not monetarily. It benefits me because it might get your debt ratio down when I get the loan quote that gives you maybe a better interest rate. So there's all kinds of reasons that I want to help you get other products that are ancillary to the actual mortgage. 407-250-9144 for the Loan Arranger. And I really appreciate you listening to Cleve Loveland in the Loan Arranger radio show. Cleve is out and about right now selling real estate. He will be in here shortly, and he's asked me to just take the helm and run with it today, which I'm having so much fun with. I'm going to tell you something. The market has eased up just a little bit, but don't listen to the national news because it's all fake news. Because they will look at this going, oh, well, everything's just, it slowed way down. No, it didn't. It went from, an appreciation with having 3 weeks on the market on our houses to having 4.5 weeks on the market. A healthy, balanced market is 6+ months. It's not 45 days. In other words, if we had every property sold in the next 45 days and no new properties came on, we'd have no properties in 45 days. That's not what we want. We want it to be a little bit more balanced, but it's better than it was. It was 3 weeks. Now it's 4.5 weeks. Let's work on 5 and 6 weeks. You can do it, guys. You're doing great. You can do it. We'll all do it together. And we'll sing Kumbaya. 407-250-9144. I'm going to tell you, here's the thing. First-time home buyers, you pick up the phone and call me. USDA, 0 money down. FHA, 3.5% down. Oh, by the way, I don't have a credit score requirement. Call your bank. Ask them if they have a credit score requirement. Just call them. Pick up the phone and call your bank. Say, hey, I was thinking about getting a mortgage. Do you have a credit score requirement? And then watch the song and dance they give you. Call me. Do I have a credit score requirement? No. Now, does that mean you can have any credit score you want and get approved? No, you still have to get approved. I don't have what's called overlays. Like lenders have overlays on loans. I don't have any overlays on my loans other than on mobile homes. And I have some very small requirements on those. But for me to help you, I don't have any restrictions. If Fannie Mae says I can do this, I'll do that. If Freddie Mac says we'll accept these documents, then I do that. If Ginnie Mae, who does FHA and VA, says this is what you need, I do that. Other lenders add layers of additional documents and requests to you so they can mitigate risk. And in some cases, it's smart to do that. They have a lower default rate. When you lower that risk threshold, your chances on having a default go down. Well, here's the thing. My default rate ain't that high, and yet I still don't have overlays. And I have great rates. What more can you ask for? Like, you're listening to the show, you call me up. You may not need a mortgage today. You might not even need a mortgage today. But that's okay. You know somebody that does. 407-250-9144. I'm the Loan Arranger. I'm applying for the job to help you and your family. I want you to put me to the test. Test my integrity, test my rates, test my return phone call, test my team. We ask you to grade us on what level we're doing every time we get off the phone with you. We want to get a 9 or a 10 every time we talk to you. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of Cleve Loveland and the Loan Arranger radio show. Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry. Welcome back to Cleve, Loveland, and the Lone Ranger Radio Show. Bruce Woodburn. I am the Lone Ranger. Cleve is out and about showing property. Should be here momentarily, and I'm really looking forward to that. I want to first of all take the time in this short segment to really memorialize 9/11. You know, 9/11, I remember exactly where I was, and I bet you do too. And I'm going to tell you something. I wasn't born in this country. I'm an immigrant to this country. And I think that we have the greatest country in the whole planet. And I'm so grateful to be part of this country. I swore allegiance to this country. You know, if you become a citizen of the United States, you actually have to swear allegiance to the country. But if you're born here, you don't have to. I think we should all have to swear allegiance to this country. What do you think? Give me a call. Let me know what you think. Or send me a text at 407-250-9144. Now, this is not a political show. This is a show about real estate and financing your real estate and what's going on in the industry. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm passionate about this country. I'm passionate about us improving and uniting together as a whole. There's so much separation between liberals and conservatives right now. I've never seen anything like it before. And I don't think our forefathers, even if they were on opposite sides of the fence, would have wanted to see things going this way. It's horrible. I think the leadership that we have in this country is not that great. It really isn't. I don't care who you voted for. You know, it doesn't make any difference to me. I'm just saying that, you know, it's the job of our leadership, but it's also our job. You can't rely on the government and say, the government's not doing this. It's about you reaching across the line. It's about you extending the olive branch to the other side. It's about you accepting other people's opinion for their own. It's okay that they don't agree the way you agree. It's okay. It's okay. You're doing great. Just you know, sometimes you just got to go, you know what? That's not the way I feel. But I appreciate the way you feel. You feel your way and I feel my way, but we can all get along. Would you like to have a beer? Okay, that's the kind of way, that's the way that things should happen. And a couple of my closest friends, you know that I'm on a conservative radio show. I'm very conservative. I believe that the government should stay the heck out of my business. I'm very libertarian in that respect. But I have dear friends that I love very much that are liberal. It's okay. I love you. You can keep your thoughts. Those are things we don't discuss over alcohol or card games. It's okay. We can still get along and love each other. But we got to remember what happened to this country 20 years ago on 9/11. It's super important that we remember that. And so many people have forgotten, and young people have forgotten, and burning the flags and not kneeling for the national anthem. That stuff makes me sick to my stomach. It really does. You don't realize what a great country you have. And if you don't like the way the country is, or you don't like what it stands for, then you take the lead on fixing the problem from within your own family. But come together united, celebrate the flag, support the flag, wave the flag high, no matter what side of the fence you're on. Be a good American. Support the country. You know, you got to do that. You got to stand out and do everything you can. I'm the Lone Ranger. I'm here to help you with your financing. But I want you to take the time right now to think about what this country went through on 9/11 20 years ago, and let's not repeat it. We're giving our enemies all of our weapons. We're putting them in charge of a country. It's not good, and we're going to have to get some changes made real soon. We're going to have to take control and make some changes. But do it with integrity. Do it the right way. Do it at the voting tables. But do it. I'm the Lone Ranger, 407-250-9144. 407-250-9144. God bless America, and God bless all of you out there. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more Cleve, Loveland, the Lone Ranger Radio Show.